I was just listening to the ad that ran. It's a local, so a lot of stations probably didn't hear it, but it's the eFoods Direct ad that I cut a year and a half ago. And I said, will you have storable foods or will you be forced to go to the inoculation centers? Now, how did I make an ad a year and a half ago saying they would be trying to forcibly inoculate you with inoculation centers now being announced? Now as they ease it out there. Because we got the secret FEMA training manuals 3 years ago, a year and a half before it was declassified, of the tens of thousands of clergy being secretly hired by FEMA. And the training manual said, tell them it's of God to turn your guns in. It's of God to go to the FEMA camp and be inoculated, to submit. It's of God to do all of this. And so we then knew that was one of their main battle plans. Then in January, we saw them telling local police, get ready for martial law, the flu's coming. That's why we knew when January rolled into April, and then it came out, we knew it was level 6 3 months before it became mainstream news. And we've warned so many people about what's happening that it's going to be hard for the globalists to carry this out. We're going to go to Dr. Stan Monteith in one moment, but finishing up with Luca and Bridget from Mojave County Minutemen and Mojave County Oath Keepers. Final comments from both of you.
Alex, I want to say one thing. We need to be proactive, as you know, as you say. Information is the first weapon, and then we need also start to make this information active in the community. Otherwise, if we keep it for ourselves, it's not the only thing. One important thing we're doing this Saturday and Sunday, and this is part of the knowledge we must know. We have Apple Seed coming in Kingman. It's free class of a clinic, how to become a rifleman for women and for teenagers till 21, and also for all the people in active duty. Please come. I will post the information on MojaveMinutemen.com, because this is not the way we're going to somehow prepare for what's coming. We need to know the information, but also we need to know the skills that our founder's father had.
And pray for the best, but hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Exactly.
And just what for me is just like Lucas said. I'm going to do Appleseed. We're aware. We open our mouths. We ask questions. We're not afraid. We learn to shoot. We don't shut up. We're learning everything we can. We're spreading the word. And if the New World Order thinks that they're going to be able to take us over without a fight, I think they miscalculated that there's too many people just like us from coast to coast. They're going to have a big fat fight on their hands if they want to.
Well, they're going to stage events, though. They're going to kill their own troops and blame it on us. They're going to bomb federal buildings and blame it on us. We're going into a very dark time. But remember, we know they did it, just like Hitler with Gleiwitz and Reichstag. We know they're staging the events. We know they've released the flu. We know they're staging all of this. This is only another big drill, in my opinion. God bless you. We'll continue to check in with you as things develop. Take care of yourselves.
We love you, Alex.
We love you, Alex.
We love you taking action as well. And folks, go to city councils, go to county commissioners. I remember in 1999, the SWAT team came in and threatened me at a county commissioners meeting not to speak. It was on video, on TV. I said, I'm going to speak. Then after the SWAT team commander, it was in the same county commissioner building, asked me, was actually across the street. He said, please come to my office. And he said, look, I'm a Vietnam vet. There's not going to be troops in Austin. There's no martial law coming. He said, I would never allow that. Lieutenant Beck, they later got mad at him and ran him out because he said things like this. And I said, listen to me. They're paying off police chiefs. And I gave him videos of it. Police chiefs I interviewed, they tried to pay off. San Antonio police chief. And I said, Delta Force will visit you. They're visiting all the major cities now. Austin was about 700,000 people then. I said, they're going to come to you soon. He laughed at me. A couple months later, he calls up and says, can you come to my office? He goes, here's Delta Force's card. He said, everything you said is true. Tell me more. And then he said, how do you know all this being so young? So I was like 24 or something. I don't remember how old I was. Yeah, about 24, 25. I looked really young, and he said, who are you with? Are you with the government? Is this a thing in the government fighting each other? And I said, no, I'm with the American people. I mean, they just can't believe that citizens would be involved and informed in running counterintelligence against this global corporate takeover. Look, somebody's got to do it. I never claimed to have all the answers or be the best at this. We're just a ragtag group going toe-to-toe with the New World Order and their psyops. But if you just start understanding everything they say is the opposite, everything they say is a lie or a distortion. I've got mainstream news we're going to cover with Dr. Monteith admitting that they chose of thousands of plastic formulas for worldwide adoption in the 60s that sterilizes the men. The White House science czar admits they're putting this stuff in the water that they want. I mean, folks, the military and the police, I'm not your enemy. I don't have some macho head up thing of fantasy of having war with you. I hate what you do, though. I hate your ignorance. I hate your denial. I just wish you'd research. This is important. This is real. Let's go to Dr. Stan Monteith. He's led a delegation of physicians from Santa Cruz County to the House of Delegates of California Medical Association for 10 years. He's led the battle with organized medicine in California to address AIDS epidemic. This is an old bio. And he's a talk show host on Genesis, written a bunch of best-selling books, made videos, made films. He's a medical doctor, been doing this for over 40 years, fighting the New World Order, an expert on the eugenics, an expert on AIDS being engineered, and an expert on what's happening with this flu. For the balance of the hour, Dr. Stan Monteith joins us. Doctor, it's good to have you on with us.
It's great to be with you, Alex. And this is an exciting time because, I'm getting all sorts of emails from people in the healthcare industry who are saying, look, they're threatening to take away my job. They're threatening to take away my pension if I won't take this vaccine. And I say, do not take it. Just tell them you're going to sue them. Get the other people.
Dr. Monteith? All right, we just lost his phone line. Yes, they've denied the last month that they're ordering people to take shots and it's forced. Now they're having to admit it slowly. But again, they deny it to the last minute so we can't build opposition. If an army's about to attack you, they want to sneak up. They don't want you to know they're coming. And this is what they're doing. And while we're getting Dr. Monteith back on the line, MAAC organizes Pittsburgh security for G20. It says the FBI and Secret Service are running it along with the Army. Now, we saw this in 99 in Seattle. When I knew the Army was running this 2 weeks before, I said they're going to stage riots. And then it came out, the police had to admit later, 50 anarchists were flown in, funded by a big foundation. This is all in my film, Police State to the Takeover, that we released in 2000. If you want to see the documentation. And they flew them in. And they had them attack police before the news cameras to then set the pretext to attack everybody. Delta Force ran that as well. That was in the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, Seattle Times. It was in all three of the papers in Seattle. Seattle Times, Post-Intelligencer, and the other one. That's all in Police State 2. The takeover. This is the takeover. And they know incremental is hard to beat. It's like a frog in cold water. He won't jump out. You turn it up slowly, he'll boil to death. You throw him in hot water, he'll jump out. That old analogy. And the troops are brainwashed, the police are brainwashed, the public's brainwashed. And I told you over a decade ago, the big takeover would come when they fully bankrupted the economy. Dr. Monteith, we lost you there, and your phone's real low. Can you speak up?
Okay, how is that? Is that good?
Good. Start over. You're saying an exciting time to be alive.
Well, it certainly is. But, really with this whole thing on the swine flu, everybody, or most people, have missed this article that appeared in the New York Times on the 12th of September, and they quote a number of leading epidemiologists who have said that, they got a great vaccine, but the problem is the epidemic's going to be over. It's going to have peaked out before the vaccine's available in the middle of next month. And that really is true. In fact, I emailed or just talked to Mr. Hartman, and hopefully he'll have those figures off the CDC webpage that you can see that it's already peaked at its highest level. They call it widespread, level 5 in almost 20 states as of about 2 weeks ago. It's already peaked and declining. The incidence of the new infections in California. This disease is so mild that most people who get it don't even know they've been ill. And what they've done is a bait and switch on the vaccine. The article that they utilized to demonstrate that the vaccine was effective was published in the New England Journal of Medicine on the 10th of September. It's called A Trial of Influenza AH1N1 2009 monovalent adjuvanted vaccine. an adjuvanted vaccine in Australia to prove that the vaccine works, but they're not going to give an adjuvanted vaccine in the United States, at least. They're afraid to because they know there's so much opposition to it, and because it's not licensed in the United States. So they used one vaccine and said, gee, look how great it works. And then first they're going to use a different vaccine in the United States.
Well, Doctor, I want to walk through all this with you, but also from your years of researching this eugenics order of darkness, Brotherhood of Darkness, as your book title states it, what do you think the master plan here is? Is this just a giant drill for federalization and nation states to go under UN level 6 control, or could this be something bigger?